You know, I always say that the best thing you can do for yourself is know yourself and be who you really are. Right. And so, like for you and a lot of people that come from these very busy metropolitan areas like New York, you're so busy on the go, on the go, on the go. You're not able to really slow down and think about the things that you've been through, your trauma, and deal with those things because you're so used to going so fast that when things do slow down, it bothers you because you got to be left alone with your thoughts. That's why when you was in the shoe like that, you know, for 3 years, you had to really look at yourself in the mirror, deal with the shit that you've been through in life.
You can't you can't run when the only person that wakes up in the morning and sees you is the man in the mirror. I've seen people with the biggest mirrors and the most beautiful mirrors in their house, and they only look into it when they're gonna put on their mask. They never look into it to see who woke up in the morning and who are the real you, right? You're immediately doing something to change that first look of who am I? So in the shoe, I had to build a curriculum where I couldn't blame my mother. I couldn't blame nobody. I was with me 24 hours. So the blame game don't work. Lie to self don't work. Is the understanding that as a human, they took the one thing God gave me that he didn't even give the angels. He gave me a choice. And I sold it for a fucking bowl of soup. And with this miracle of having choice, what I was going to do with it to be successful. And I said, now you're alone. You could write a plan. You could talk yourself a new foundation, and you could talk the lie to yourself. And my fiance, she's beautiful, right? She's from Houston. And I'm saying she's from Cuero, like you said, a little country girl. I'm a big city boy. So I come and I try to meet her, and we having this big explosion. Because I tell her, in New York, we make the girl change the tire. In the South, you open doors, you hold hands, and you're a gentleman. And I said, what? Are you crazy? You know, she held my hand, and I got nervous. Like, what the fuck is this? And I'm showing you, this is a grown man, but because in the fast life, you don't hold hands. Y'all both trying to speed where you get it in New York, and it's so full. The wife is, so I'm just saying it was so weird to, like you said, the culture that goes a little slower, pays a little more value to the family, and got less, usually got a better value and family culture of unity than the big city families. And we fought to keep it, but it slowly deterred us. And so you're right, is learning to stop. Really give yourself the time to digest what you're doing in life and who you are. And it's hard, brother. So a long time built me. You know, it built me really good. And we're going ahead. But yeah, that's what I say to most of my brothers that are suffering this trauma of being arrested, being in jail once in their life. You can't make it the excuse to fail for the rest of your life. Believe me, I did it long enough. I spent half of my life in jail going in and out. And it wasn't until I freed my mind from the reality that I wasn't in jail because I was in jail. I was in jail because my mind wasn't free yet. And when I freed my mind, and I'm being honest, and I found who I am, and I became a king, and I started reading books, I found the reason to be honorable because I had people whose shoulders that I was standing on, that my freedom was won on their sacrifices and their blood. And once education gave me that, and I learned it, I read of these other great people who had my blood, had my traditions, had the culture I screamed about. It gave me the understanding of what was my obligation to maintain that honor of freedom. Freedom is not overrated. Freedom is not having a lot. Freedom is able to make a choice, the one you want to make, regardless who's around you, disagree with you, and being able to walk with your head up high and not be judged. Freedom. And that's what I wanted, to be a free Puerto Rican. Mind, spirit, and my whole physical body free from the bullshit of oppression. And I go back to oppression, my people. Oppression leads to aggression that leads to violence. We got to start looking at what's oppressing our children to become this, right? This aggressive towards change, towards future, and towards love. Like you said, when our children don't want to get hugged no more, you better start fucking hugging them at home, and you better find out. That means that's already he's showing you, I'm ashamed of love. The street told me a hug is some punk shit. You better grab your son. You better kiss him on his fucking face and show him, oh, no, it ain't. And I'll do it anywhere, anytime. And that's when things change. When we start showing affection openly in public, not behind closed doors to the people we love.
That's big facts, man. That's wow. That's a very powerful message. Do you think that a lot of times, because we're immigrants coming from different countries and our parents sacrifice so much just to get here, just to try to make it in this dog eat dog world, right? And they forget about showing that physical affection to us. It's like they focus so much on trying to give us the things that they didn't have that they forget about the things that they did have, like that love.
Woo! Listen, you that exactly right. And that's the capitalistic dream, right? The difference between the Europeans, they fight for a 3-hour lunch break in Italy, France, Europe, Sweden. Sunday, you go to Sweden and if you see one light on, one bar on, anything that's distracting family time on Sunday. Nothing is open. The lights in every building and every house is on. They're together. They fight for the freedom to the family to be more united in Europe than in the richest place in the world, America. That's not the objective of a family. The objective of a family is to maintain the status quo and be able to afford middle class life. Not values, not understand. They say, oh, that all comes with, that's bullshit. See what it takes for a parent of a poor home, 2 family members got to go to work, and the oldest child. How do we teach education when we got to make it? So, right, they leave us alone. We walk down the block. The Johnny boys and them make us feel different. You are El Salvadorian. You don't talk English because the Puerto Ricans already got Americanized. We call ourselves American gangsters. So who do we pick on? Because we're too scared to storm the Capitol after all these years. We never did it. Right? We won't storm it. We'll watch someone else storm it while we'll storm our kids, we'll storm our people in the ghetto. So we believe we're free and we got rights. We don't, my people. The rights of your home is taught in your house, not by the laws written in the books in that place. It's the value you give your children after you work hard and sit with them at the table. Remember when you were in your homeland and your mother, father always gave you a dinner time, always gave you a conversation on the table, always gave you a hug in the morning. Don't lose those traditions to give us what we need. We need that more than anything. So you're right. That's the American culture. Make you come and earn your living, which is anywhere in the world, but it's the hardest place to make it. Isn't that crazy?